All right, guys, we're talking about different forms of lines today. And first, I want you to think about me. You know, I'm super important. There I am. There's Mrs. Barney. Okay, so there's me. And you guys call me Mrs. Barney. And my kids call me Mom. And my husband calls me Nicole. Sometimes he calls me Cutie. It's sweet, isn't it? Right? So here I am. I am one person. But there's lots of different labels that describe me. Lots of different forms of my name. Right? So they all refer right back to me. They all are me. Okay? Well, when we're talking about lines, I want you to think about the same thing. So here's a line. And it has lots of different forms. Okay? So we might write it in slope-intercept form. We might write it in standard form. Or we might write it in point-slope form. And let's take a look at what those forms actually look like. So slope-intercept form is the one you're probably the most familiar with. Remember, we have a song to the YMCA tune for this one. But this is y equals mx plus b. And remember, when I wrote it on the board, I wrote it like this. Y equals mx plus b. So when you plug numbers into this, the y and the x are still going to be there, but we're going to plug numbers into the m and into the b. So this is slope-intercept form. And the m tells us what the slope is, and the b tells us our y-intercept. All right, now let's take a look at standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals, I lost my pen. There it is, c. Ax plus by equals c. And again, when you look at this with numbers, the blue things are going to stay, so the x and the y are always going to be there, and the a, the b, and the c are all going to be different numbers. Now remember, our rules for ax plus by equals c, or standard form, is that a, b, and c have to be whole numbers, and a has to be positive, and a, b, and c have to have a GCF, a greatest common factor, of 1. And what that means is that I can't divide a, b, and c by the same number. You know, so if this was 5, 5, and 10, well, I could divide all of those numbers by 5. So that wouldn't be in standard form if I could divide all of these three numbers by the same number. Okay? So these are our rules for standard form. That's standard form. Most of the time in our class, in geometry, you're going to be given standard form and just have to change it out of standard form. All right, and point-slope form. So this is y minus y1 equals m, squeeze that m in there, times x minus x1. So again, when you actually see this as an equation, this y and this x are still going to be there, and the red things, the y1, the m, and the x1, are all going to be replaced by numbers. So this right here is a slope, just like in slope-intercept form. And this y1 and x1 is any point on the line. So these are the three forms of a line. And remember, all three of these forms can represent the same line. So we could have one line that is written in three different ways. Just like I have three different names or more, then lines can be written in lots of different ways. And these are just three different ways to refer to a line.